Not what I meant to show. Here we go. This is super, super embarrassing. Please be the right video this time.
This movie was essentially a 2+ hour long Google ad. Everything about it screams, "We are the best." Like, come work for us. I mean, I even walked out of the theater thinking, I would not mind working for Google right now. Nap pods. I mean, they have nap times, like where there's these pods that just cover your whole upper body, and you can just sleep. And everyone has to be quiet. I mean, it had everything from the driverless cars to Quidditch matches, which I didn't know that Google did that. Story. Basically, you get most of the story from the trailer, which is normally not a bad thing, but it helps them speed things along really quickly, which I thought would have been good. Basically, Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson are these two salespeople whose business shuts down and doesn't even tell them, so they're jobless. Owen Wilson works for Will Ferrel for like 2 minutes, and then they decide, hey, we're going to apply for an internship at Google. And from that point on, the story becomes so scattered, it's impossible to make it a good film. Basically, the interns are grouped into teams, and they have to compete against each other, and the winning team gets jobs at Google. And the team that Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson are in are pretty much the rejects. Typical dysfunctional team. And it shows that in the movie. And if they had just focused on that, it would have been a fantastic film. But it's so scattered and so illogical that I started just not wanting to watch the movie. There's a huge bit, it's in the trailer, about not dating your coworkers. And the joke drags on, and basically you can't date your coworker even if you do get a job there. But then Owen Wilson falls in love with this girl who works for Google, and he works for Google, and there's no reference to them not being allowed to date. They just date. So that just got to me. It's just so scatterbrained. It's so, we gotta have all this stuff in, and it doesn't matter if it doesn't quite mesh. The acting is ridiculous in this movie. There's good actors, and then there's bad actors, and there's no in-between actors. Like all of the kids in the movie, I thought they did a great job. The only growth is them coming together as a team, and they don't really change at all individually. Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn are people who are prime examples of characters who stayed the same in all their films, and then they got to a certain point and we were tired of those characters, and we were tired of the jokes that they had in all the films, and then beyond that point, we don't even remember their characters' names, we just remember them as Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn. This movie, I think, is one of the first of many movies that they'll make where they have the same character and we won't, for the life of us, remember the character's name, even throughout the movie. Which brings me to what I would have changed about the movie. One, I would have either gotten different actors, or I would have made them change their personalities. Because the story's not bad, it's the acting that kind of makes it bland. And so if Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson play different characters, which I know they're capable of, because I've seen them in completely different movies earlier on in their careers, then I think that would have made it a much better film. The other thing that I would have changed is a whole summer is covered in this movie, but we only see 6 days of it. And if they'd focused on more of the summer and shown how the team really developed and made it more of a stronger story and less scattered, I think it would have been a really great movie. If you have seen this movie, or if you do know anything about Google, let me know what you thought. Let me know what you would have changed, if you agree with me, or if you think something totally different, and maybe I'll get back to you on that.